Hey guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews. And a lot of you have noticed recently that I bought a new vape. So we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to kind of review it and tell you a little bit about the vaporizer. So a lot of you also know I'm a huge VaporFi guy. I buy almost all of my products from VaporFi. I will link their website in the description box for those of you curious. But the two devices that I got, because I got a tank, and then I got a new battery. So the tank is called the Vsix. It is a top fill tank. It's a very, very big tank. It holds like 6 milliliters, I think is what it is, of juice. It's a lot of juice. But I didn't want to go to an RBA because I don't want to have to constantly keep dripping. And there's a lot that played the part of why I like this. So, I upgraded this because my new tank now supports my new tank supports 0.25 coils, which I was kind of forced to upgrade my tank because I had a tank I really liked. It was the VaporFi Vsix Tank, but it's been discontinued, so I can no longer get coils for that tank. So I bought a new tank, then I bought a new battery to kind of coexist with the tank. My old battery still works just fine, so it's now a backup battery because I didn't have a backup for a while. And trust me when I say it's always good to have a backup battery. So this is a 40-watt battery. This is actually called the Vox 40-watt TC. The reason why the TC is there is because it also has temp control. I do not currently have a temp control coil in it. They are nickel coils for the temp control. Right now I just have a standard 0.25 ohm coil in there. They have 0.5, 0.25, and then the temp control coils, which are 0.25 as well. I don't normally vape too high above 3.7 volts. I normally won't go past. So right now I'm at 3.46 with a 0.25 coil, but on a 0.5 coil, I would normally be at about 30 watts to be at 3.6, and I'm currently at 40 watts at 3.46 volts. So battery life on this is really good. The tank's really nice. The battery itself isn't green. These are just sleeves that VaporFi sells for the batteries with a nice little cutout right there so you can charge it. It's micro USB. I would have loved for it to have been USB-C, but I get it. Not a lot of things are on that yet. And then the top parts, these little bands, are just in case I were to knock it over. It would absorb a lot of the impact rather than the glass taking any kind of substantial damage on the tank itself. The amount of vapor it produces is really good. For some reason, it has a clock on the standby screen. I've never been like, oh, hang on, let me pull out my vape so I can check the time. That was weird to me, but I do love the device as a whole. I like that it has a matte black finish, just like the tank does. For those of you who aren't familiar with vaping or don't vape regularly, if you ever buy one that has a gloss black finish, that gloss black is going to start to peel off. I've owned several devices that were a gloss black. They don't hold up well. That's why I normally opt for stainless steel, which even a glossy stainless steel, if it's not truly stainless steel, will eventually start to wear off. You have a airflow on the tank right here, down at the bottom. You twist it, change the airflow, just like you would on most airflow tanks. Then you have juice flow control as well. You twist this top part right up here, just below where it unscrews for the top fill, which the top fill is right here. I'm actually using this tank's standard tip that it comes with, which I have a really nice carbon fiber tip, but I actually really like the tip that comes on this. It's like a straight metal tip, but it stays really cool when you're vaping, which is pretty nice. And I mean, that's really the biggest point to a tip on a tank. Unless you have like an RBA, some people, when you have a true dripper tank, some people like a wider tank because it's easier to drip. Now, a lot of you may also know that I buy my juices at VaporFi as well exclusively. The way that started was I used to buy a lot of Kanger and Nautilus products. I always had some kind of issue, whether it be leaking or flooding or something along those lines. There was just a lot of inconsistencies. So I eventually, at one point, because I'd bought from several different stores, there were a lot of stores I used to regular, and then I went to VaporFi once, fell in love with their juices, still didn't buy one of their devices, held off for a while, and then I was like, well, you guys' devices are a little pricey, went ahead and bought one. The reason why they're pricey is because they hold up well. They do a really good job, they're very well made, and they stand by their product. You have 30 days to return it if you don't like it. And that's, especially with their online, that's huge, being able to return it for 30 days if you don't like it. And I think it's 60 or 90 days. It's different per device on how long they warranty the device. And I don't know how long it is because I don't think it says on here. Sure doesn't. But I really like this device. It's a well-made device. It feels really good in the hands. I'm also a bigger fan of smaller batteries, just because I carry it in my pocket a lot, and the bigger devices tend to be a little harder. I did almost go with the one that has the replaceable batteries in it, which is very similar to this, but from what I was told, that battery door tends to get really loose and not hold up well over time. The people that work at the VaporFi that I go to know me very well. And they are very honest with me about the products and issues that stand with the products. VaporFi is also a franchise, so they're national. You can pretty much find one in almost every state, which is really nice. So if I'm ever out of state and I run out of juice, chances are I can find a VaporFi to run at and get juice, or coils if I need coils. These are the coils for this guy. This little green one here, because it has little green rings on it. This is actually the temp control. On it, it says 0.25. The standard ones don't have the green, but they still have the ohm wattage written on, or the ohm on them, so you can always see that. And I mean, the amount of vapor this guy and it produces is really good. It also has a receded button, so the button doesn't stick out, so you don't have very many misfires in like your pocket or anything like that, which is really nice. It's awesome device. I absolutely love the device. I'm super happy with it. All in all, I think the device ran me about $110 for all of it. That was tank, battery, everything. Again, as I said, VaporFi does tend to be a little pricier. I know you can get some Kanger mods a little bit cheaper than that. A lot of times you can get a Kanger mod with a tank and a battery for around $60. But again, I also explained the issues that I've had with them. Currently, I've got in here, and sometimes I do switch back and forth. Like I was just smoking. They partnered with a couple other companies. I can't remember the company's name right now, but I have the hot apple pie one that they partnered with them with, and I also have the mocha raspberry one that they partnered with them with. But my favorite flavor that they have is one of their Grand Reserve juices. It's called Pineapple Pow. Awesome juice. It's got like hibiscus and stuff in it. It's super smooth. It tastes delicious. It's what I vape probably 90% of the time. It's about $17.99 a bottle. It is one of their premium juices. I'll show you the amount of vapor I get out of this guy. So as you can see, produces a pretty steady amount of vapor. Awesome, awesome device. It does only go up to 40 watts if you buy this battery. Just as a heads up for some of you who might like to go higher than that. I've never gone higher than that. I just recently started cranking up to 30 from 25 when I got the new tank. And then that was with a 0.5 ohm coil, and then evidently with the 0.25 coil, I'm going up to 40. And that's mainly just, as I said, I like to keep it below the 3.7 volts. They actually recommend that you keep stuff below that. Not VaporFi, but there's a lot of health organizations that say don't vape too much higher than that. And a lot of that has to do with the temperature and chemicals that release when it gets heated to that temperature. So guys, if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. I have plenty more content coming for you, so I'll see you guys around.